Hello guys, this is Ed. I'm back at the shop. I'm going to show you a tech tip for checking rods to see if if the pin or the piston is perpendicular to the rod bore. And so without further ado, I'm going to get out. I've got my Sun fixture here, and I'm going to kind of explain a little bit about it, and I will be right back. Okay, this is my Sun rod liner checking fixture. You can see we've got like a big surface plate, which is precise, and it is 90 degrees, and it is calibrated. It is true, and I check it periodically when I use it. I haven't had to use it in a long time, but I had to recon this rod in this Metropolitan Nash, and they had spun the bearing in the rod, and you can see we reconned it there, cleaned up very nicely. I've already installed my other 3 pistons and rods. They were fine, but I'm gonna check this, and I want to show you the process of checking this. This is important. Anytime you have a failure and a crank goes bad, you hydraulic a motor, blow head gasket, you get water into the combustion chamber, of course, in the cylinder. Of course, you know you can't compress water, so things are going to bend and distort. I want to see if this thing had a failure, because with it being flopping around, you can see on the crown of the piston, it started rubbing. So it got real busy. You see how it's scuffed there? They kind of leaned this motor out. They pulled the carburetor off 3 times, pulled the fuel tank. So this motor, this poor little motor, just never had a chance from day one. Did not have the appropriate break-in lube. Just never had a chance. But we're going to check this rod, and we're going to kind of check our work, and we're going to see what we have, and I'll be right back. We'll get this set up here. And of course, this makes it challenging because we've got an angled rod and cap, but it can be done. I'm going to try to position this rod, get it try to get it fairly straight. And as you can see, we've still got the rings on there. Excuse me. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it needs to be. You don't want that piston laying over in the bore, cocking the rod bearing onto the journal. So as you can see here, this fixture you can see there, that is right up against that plate. So what I'm going to do at this point, and I hope this will come out, and that fixture is, you can see the way it's made. The top of it's on the crown of the piston, the bottom's, of course, it's a V. So it's going to average the diameter, and we're going to establish if the piston is made true to the pin bore. This is how you check it when the piston is installed on the rod. So let's, I'm going to come down there. I'm touching in 4 places. And you can see I'm just starting to stick. I'm just starting to stick. There you go. And that was 1.5 thousandths. So I'm convinced and satisfied that our piston is square with the bore. So the pin, it is parallel with the big end. Of course, theoretically, the crankshaft is ground parallel with the mains. So there you have it. So that's how you check it. This fixture is something you don't use all the time. And then what I can do, I can move this through an arc and see if I'm having contact. It looks pretty good. All right, I just wanted to share that with you today. Thanks for watching. This is another fixture you can use. You can use this to check wrist pins and also use it on the top of the piston. And let's just set it on there and see how we look. You can see this surface goes against the surface plate portion of the rod checking fixture. So let's see what we have here. Okay, there I'm going, 1.5 thousandths. 1.5 thousandths. So it's square. So I feel we've checked it with the there you go. We've checked it with the the side of the piston, the skirt, and the crown, and we've checked it with the top of the piston. So I feel confident in those three methods that we're right. So I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll have more inspection coming up. Show you guys how to check things, or you can get it done. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. Got a glare off it, but I can see it. There you go. 1 thousandths. I'm going to check this side. Now I just kind of smudged it. There you go. 1 thousandths. And it can distort a little bit when you torque a rod because you're, but anyways, I feel confident. Oh, back with you. I feel confident. Have 1 thousandths clearance, and I want to check that. I check both sides. Yeah, it's kind of a wide bearing, wide journal for a little rod, and I want to check that. And so we'll be back here in a minute, and I'll get the manual and we'll look at the spec. Okay, you can see we're off of our, we're not touching on the side of the pin boss. My question was, there you go. Got right, nice rod side clearance. Everything's floating perfectly. Turns over very nice. You can see that on the film, but on the video, but it's all nice. I'll let it set a minute. We'll retorque it, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back with you. On those rod bearings, they are 1/4 thousandths to 1.5. So, of course, I'm not going to build anything that's less than 1 thou. I mean, that's ridiculous. But anyways, I would say if I was to spec this out, I would say based on my experience, 1 to 1.5 would be as tight as I'd want to go, and no more than 2.5. But 1 to 2 would be ideal. 1.5. But there you go. You can even see here on the mains, they're pretty tight. They're like 1/2 to 2 thousandths. But there again, I'm not gonna do anything that tight. Just wanted to share that with you. Thanks for watching.